Amy Hill on Amy Hill Creates, and thank you so much for being here on Journaling with Intention. And I know we've taken a hiatus for a couple of weeks because there was kind of a big holiday in the middle there. But I'm so glad that you can be here, and I hope that you were able to keep up with what we were doing with the journaling. And I know for me, this has been such an important connection. It's been really great to help me to keep myself um, to make sure that I'm actually doing everything that I need to do. And I'm excited to continue this with you as well. So, hey, Melly, how are you doing? I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for joining. I know we've had a couple of weeks off, but I'm really excited to kind of pick up. And we're in the middle of April, and technically this is week 13, even though we missed 2 weeks there because of the holiday. So I'm excited to see how your weeks have been going, if you've been able to keep it up, and if there's anything that you have been changing with how you are creating your bullet journal. Hey, Anne, how are you doing? I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for joining. I have a couple of different ideas today, so I wanted to add those in, and I just wanted to change up some things. And for me, I have a break coming up, which is always bad because it means that I don't have a very, very good set schedule. So that's something that I have to keep in mind when I build today. So just want to say thank you so much. I know we've taken a couple of weeks off, but I hope that you have been keeping up with your journaling and that it has been helping you. So I'd love to know in the chat how you've been doing. How have you been keeping up with everything? How is everything going? Good. I'm glad, Anne. And I hope everybody had a nice holiday if you celebrated, and that you had some time to be with your families, to see what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and get down because I want to set this up. And we have this week and next week are 2 full weeks in April. So we're going to be working on our layouts for this. And like I said, I have a couple of different ideas I wanted to add in as well. Hey, Saskia. How are you doing? Thank you guys again for being here and for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera down and we're going to get started. So let me know as I do that, how did your week go, or how did your weeks go? Because we had 2 weeks off. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move this on down. And here is so I have a nice blank sheet, and I had a couple of things. I just wanted to kind of change some stuff up. And I wanted to share with you a couple of items that I got that were new to me, and a couple of things that I wanted to do a little bit different. But I'm so glad to see you guys, and I love it that you guys all know each other, so you're all checking in with each other in the chat. So that is absolutely fabulous. So thank you so much again for being here. So I am going to try today to use this set. It's called Mantle Decor, and it goes along with the Modern Fireplace Layering Die Set, which is this really cute little die set that creates a fireplace, and then you can set up the decor to see, however you want. But it comes with, there's 2 little add-ons, and one is the winter set. So I think I'm going to use this a little bit later because that is definitely very wintry. But there's this one that's called the spring die set. And I thought that would be really cute to have this little spring as part of my, as I kind of decorate my layout here in my page. So I'm going to use those today. And then the other one I'm going to use today is this one called Slim Sentiments die set. And I got this, and I thought this would be a really cool thing to actually use to separate out my columns on my page. And so I wanted to use this as well. So I just had some die cuts. With these die cuts, I actually wanted to use some paper. That makes sense because you're die cutting out paper. And so I have my little stash of gradient cardstocks from Altenew. And these are fabulous. I keep them in this little box, and they just kind of live here. Very, very pretty, very, very rainbowy. And I can just grab them and go because they're all set up here. This doesn't close very well, but that's okay because it lives on the top of my, on top. And then I also have, I don't even know what to call these, folders, I guess. And so I have these plastic folders that I keep all of my extra die cuts and papers, and I have them organized by color. And so you can see here, I just have them all in here. So I can just grab die cuts, panels that I've done, and it just keeps everything a little organized. So just a little bit of an organizational tip. So I'm going to grab some of this. I'll use some of that paper, and let's go ahead and get started. So for me, the last couple of weeks have been pretty crazy because we've been finishing up work right before a vacation. And now I'm on a vacation, at least for a week. I'm on a little bit of a break. And that's really helpful because, like I said, I can kind of refocus and reinvest in some of the things that I've been doing. So I want to set up this page. And just to remind you where we were before, and I kind of lost my book and I got back into it again. So I have to kind of redouble my efforts here as well to do these things. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on this one. And what I want to do right now is I'm actually just going to go ahead and set this up. So I'm going to use my one that I've been using, which is the color swatches. And that's just going to give me kind of a layout for what I want to do. And I realized I don't have my tiny ruler. Don't know where that one went. So I'll grab my second ruler, my backup ruler. So I have that over here. And we will go ahead and get started on this. So I'm just going to grab one of my little flare pens. And like I've said before, I like to use the gray just as a background. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm just going to map these out where I want things to be. So I have been enjoying using my journal, and I really still like having the graphs here. So I'm going to start out with graphing. And I'm just going to make my graphs just by doing a big, huge L. And I do this randomly. It's just kind of making sure that it's halfway on the page. And I'm going to do the other one over on the side. So feel free to do this and go ahead and connect with me. Let me know if I would love to know if you actually bullet journal with me. Like, do you set this up with me? Or do you go back and you kind of take ideas and you do it on your own? Let me know in the chat, which way do you do that? I would love to know on that one. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to title these. So I have to say one thing that when I am here, and I'm looking for the thinnest one, which I think is this one on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and title this. And one thing that I have to do when I'm on vacation is I kind of lose all sense. I don't wake up at the right time. And those are all things that I have to do for my health, is making sure that I'm eating well, that I'm doing all these things. So that's one thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to put this in as my water section. So I'm still tracking that water. And this has actually been really helpful. And then I'm going to put in my exercise minutes. And that's one thing I want to make sure that I do for myself, is those exercise minutes. All right, so that's in here. And then I'm just going to add in those days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then again, my goal for this is 80 ounces, and my goal here is 15 minutes. And then I just kind of roughly idea that, and then just make about half. So that's 7.5 minutes. And I have been up to 15 minutes, so I did. And yeah, and sometimes it's nice just to watch because it kind of gives you that idea of things that you want to do. And then up here, I'm just going to grab a little bit of washi. Let's see. And I'm literally grabbing a random one out of this. And this will kind of help to set that color scheme. I still like that pastel because we're in April. So I'm just kind of setting up that pastel color scheme. And I'm just going to rope this off. And that just gives me a space for my title. And again, I like this dotted journal because it helps today. It just helps to make sure that I can keep things straight because I have a little bit of a hard time with that. Okay. All right. So that's just my title. And I'm just going to go ahead and type that in, or just go ahead and write that in. And I'm going to use this. So this week, we are starting tomorrow. So that's April 17th through April 23rd. And that's when I will see you next week, is April 23rd. And how are you doing on your intentions? Is this something that's been helping, setting up these bullet journals? How is that going? All right, I wanted to set this up. I've been liking what I've been doing, which is kind of putting these out and having larger spaces for what I'm doing each day. So I'm going to use that ruler and do that again. This one, I'm so sorry, Saskia, I don't have centimeters on this ruler, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball this a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull this down. I want to leave a little bit of space down here just for some writing. And I'm just going to go ahead and just equidistantly divide this up. I know 7s is kind of the hardest one. So that's a 1/2 inch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I can probably go 3/4 of an inch. So, and again, I'm just kind of eyeballing this and using my ruler somewhat as a guide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I can always make this just a little bit longer. So I just kind of divided that up into 7 parts. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw these lines over. So this is just separating them out into my days. And I'm using this spot to write in what I did that day. Anything is that I want to record. So I've been kind of moving away from recording food. I'm more thinking about recording things that I've done, how I'm feeling in the day, any adventures I've been on, just kind of taking a moment to just think about what's going on there. My screen is a little dark. All right. Thanks, Anne. I appreciate that. I can fix that, believe it or not. It's always... There we go. All right, Anne. Let me know. Is that a little bit better? It's always different in this world of my lighting in this room. Still learning it. Still really, really learning it. So still getting to know. All right, so I'm going to come in here. So this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that still gives me a little bit of space down here too. Saskia, is that bright? All right, good. If you need it to be brighter, just let me know. That's only at like 75% of this light, so I can keep going. I can keep going with this sticker. It still gives me a little bit of space down here just to kind of give me. We talked before about how important it is to have that looking back in order to go forward. So I'm just going to add that little bit, and I'm just going to very, very small print. And I'm just putting in looking backward to move forward. So very, very tiny print, but it just gives me a little bit of an opportunity to talk about things that kind of happened this week that I might want to fix. So I left this part up here intentionally blank. What I want to do is I actually want to add in a little bit of decorations up here. So let's go get some die cutting done and we will add it to our thing. I have a lot of flowers coming up. So what I wanted to do next week is to actually add in a list of lists of my garden, because I always, every single year, always forget about flowers and where the heck they are and what it is that, where are they located. And that's something that I want to make sure that I remember, because I forget every single year. Because by the time, you're like, oh, I love these flowers. And then where were they? Because by the time you need to plant them in the fall, the spring blooms are gone, So I have to kind of remember that part. All right. So this is the Slim Sentiments die set. And this one's really nice because it has these really sweet quotes. And so I thought that they would be inspirational. for my journal. So I really like this one, aspire not to have more, but to be more. And so that's something maybe I want to focus on that week. There's a, you are loved more than you know. Hope your day is filled with joy and love. And it's just really nice little thing. So I'm going to actually use this. Let's see the aspire right here. I actually want to use this as my border. So it's actually going to end up here as my border. And this would be cute. It's a little bit too long because of the way my book is. My book really isn't long enough unless I did it this way, but I kind of want it to be this way. It's a little bit different because normally I put a piece of washi on there. So I'm actually going to grab my mini blossom, and I want to do this in a really funky green. Do I want to do green, yellow? I think I want to do it in pink. And I'm just looking through my little box here to see what the heck I have. Is that going to fit beautiful? Oh no, it's too small. Darn it. Okay. Well, I can't use these because I need a bigger sheet. That's okay. We'll work on that. Which also means I don't think I can use this. Oh, it's just going to fit, especially if I do it diagonal. All right, sweet. All right, so I can use my mini blossom. So I am off to my sheets of paper. So like I told you at the beginning, I actually keep a lot of my sheets of paper, and I put them into these envelopes, these plastic envelopes, and that way I can keep all of these colors together. So I'm actually going to grab this nice bright pink would be really nice. I think that would go, and I can do it this way. All right, so I just need some scissors to cut my paper down so it fits into my mini blossom. And I like to mix and match things so it's not always stamping or coloring or doing something like that, but just a little bit of something different each time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this down, and hopefully this fits. Okay, I think this is just going to fit. Put my piece on, and here's my other plate. All right, I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. Hope for the best here. And I may actually attach this to a piece of washi tape just so it stands out a little bit more. I'm just going to see what it looks like. Oh, it's so cute. All right. And here we go. Do you guys have this set? Does anybody have this set? Have you used it? I don't think it's a new set. This is from 2021. This is the Slim Sentiments die set. I don't know if anybody has this one. But like I said, I like to kind of mix things up. I get bored when it's the same thing every single time. So I'm trying to come up with different ways. That makes me excited to use my journal as well. If there's something new about it, because I don't do well when things become tedious or it's the same exact thing every single time. It's kind of it's my Achilles heel. I need things to be a little different. Okay, here we go. I don't have it. Yeah, I wasn't gonna get it because it's really small, but look how cute it is. It's really cute. And of course, I did the thing we all do when we have die cuts, right? I have that moment of regret that I did not back my paper with double-sided tape. I've got to glue this thing. Ah. All right, so let's take a look and see what we think. Do we like it? Isn't it cute? So you got those words, so cute, right? But again, it's a little different. You even can wave it. Look at that. We can even make it wave, but I want it to be straight. All right, let me take a look. I got some the washi tape. Here they are. On a whim, I bought this washi tape. Why? I don't know. And have never used it, but I thought it would be kind of cool. And I think it's going to be right size on this one. It's cute, right, Anne? I haven't used it on a card yet, so you may see this pop out soon. All right, so I have this washi tape. So this is what, about a half an inch? Yeah, it's about a half an inch. And to kind of go with the green theme that I have going on here on this page, I'm going to grab this. And you can see how it kind of gets lost on the white, but I think if I have it on the green, do you see how that's going to pop a little bit more? Yes, there we go. So I think that's cute. Hi, Tracy. I'm so glad you're here. Tracy, I have just started my layout for this page and I'm using die cuts. I haven't done that before where I've used mostly die cuts. So this die cut is from the Slim Sentiments die set. And it says, aspire not to have more, but to be more. And I thought that was nice to put kind of an inspiring quote in this part. And I'm just taking washi tape. And this is just kind of this random set of washi tape that I purchased God knows when, but and I thought if my die cut was backed with the washi tape, it would kind of stand out really well. That's a cool green, huh? And then I'm going to go ahead and put this in right here. A little too much. That's okay. Got excited on that cut. All right, so now when I put this in, now you can really see it or see it a little bit better. So let me bring this up to you guys. So it says, aspire not to have more, but to be more. And I thought that looks cute on the green, right? Isn't it cute, Tracy? So there's a couple of cute ones in there. That one is the Slim Sentiments die set. So actually I'm going to use just a little bit of glue to make sure that this holds well. And I'm not going to go glue nutter, like glue kind of crazy on this. I'm just going to just go right along that bottom edge. And I'm going to go a little bit on some of the letters on the top. And because this glue is, you know, it dries clear, and I'm just trying to add, I get that precision tip, so just going to add just a little bit. And so I don't need to glue up every single thing, but I'm going to try to make sure I hit enough so it really will hopefully stay. And I'm putting it on washi tape, so I'm not putting it on paper. I always worry about gluing things into the journal, but this way. And then I want to put it so it's facing into the page instead of out. Okay, there we go. All right, now clean up that glue in just a second, all that extra glue. There we go. Just gonna come along and just clean up all that glue because it's on the washi tape, which is plastic, so it cleans up relatively easy. Cute, right? So I think that's cute. So it says, aspire not to have more, but to be more. I thought that was really neat. All right, so one of the things I wanted to do, like I said, was to start to track my flowers. And so I wanted to use this side in order to do that. So that's where I thought of this spring. So let me show you the next die cut I want to use. So that was the one from the Slim Sentiments die set. And I thought that looked really cute here. All right, so I'm going to put that guy back. And then I want to grab this one. So this is from the Mantle Decor spring set, and I just really think this is super cute. So you have this one over here that's a solid, and then you have these ones that spell out spring, and you can see how it was done here over the mantle where they backed it with that. And this, of course, connects with the modern fireplace layering die set. This is from 2020, so this is a little bit of an oldie. But I thought that it would be cute. Thank you so much, Tracy, for sharing this. I appreciate that. The other one, if you're interested in looking at this set, is the Mantle Decor Winter Die Set. So I just thought this was really cute. I just think the set is just really cute. So the little frame is adorable. The little flower die cuts. Really need to not be the first time I open these as I'm alive. All right, so here's my little thing. So that's cool that it comes all in one thing. So I'm just going to write, you have these, Saskia? You have these? I just noticed it. I think I got them. I don't know when I literally just bought these. So, but I thought these were really cute and I like these little florals. So I might add these in. I don't know. If the inspiration strikes, I will add these in. So I'm going to keep along with my color scheme. And I think since I have the pink out, I'm just going to do these in pink. Now I don't need to do this in pink. So I can do a little bit of a partial die cut and just kind of throw this over on the side. But I'm going to go ahead and run this through my mini blossom and I'll have that spring. So I'm just going to run this through real fast. And then I'm going to grab some green and I am going to back these with green. All right, I'm actually going to use a little washi tape in order to get this to stay in one place because I'm trying to do a partial die cut with warpy plates, which never works. Okay. All right, so now we're down. You have the mantle, Anne, still in their package and unused. All right, Saskia, this is your opportunity. Get these out. Hang out with spring. I mean, I know you got some tulips out there. My tulips are not up yet. We have daffodils at the moment, but not tulips. All right, hopefully that worked. Did that go through? Oh, so cute. All right, did that go through? I'm going to run this through one more time with this guy. Again, mini blossom to the rescue. Okay, let's take a look at this. All right, never used this before, but I thought it was really cute. All right, so here's my little, that's my eye. So these are all individual, which is kind of cute. And so I'm going to go ahead and pop these out. And do you even get the letters? I don't have that kind of patience though. P. All right, and okay. This was a little bit tricky. And isn't the mini blossom the best? I love it. I absolutely love it. All right. I know I have to let these letters go, but man, you want to keep them, don't you? So cute, these tiny letters. All right. I just want to point out that if you end up using this die, there is not a hole to take the actual banner pieces out. So you have to do that thing where you kind of come at the edge and kind of try to pry it over, open. There we go. There we go. And last one. Yes. There we go. Okay. All right, so here's my little spring. Signs of spring here. Oh, you can't even see it. You're like, that's so great, Amy. I can't see what the heck you're doing. Don't worry, I'm coming. Here we go. All right, so SPR. Isn't it cute? I could even color this in. That way you wouldn't even know that it is colored. But I think, or I could put a piece of washi in there and then just put these on top of it. But I really like how that is. I'm going to go ahead and cut just one out of green because I'm really curious how this would look together. And then if we like it, we'll keep it. If we don't like it, we will move on. And that is not the color I thought it was. The problem with having this in a green folder is I think all the pieces are green. So what I find interesting about this is the fact that that single one is like all by itself, but it's connected. So you have to do some kind of odd partial die cutting unless you're going to do this, you know, all together. So I'm going to just try one and see how this goes. So I'm going to keep this over on the side and I'm just going to run this through really quick because otherwise I got to run it through six times, which I don't know if I have personally the patience for that. All right. So again, I'm just going to partially die cut these. So I'm not even going to worry about the rest of it. I'm just going to do just this part. All right, let's see how this looks on here. Let's grab the S. Oh, it's adorable. I think I have to do it. That's what it looks like. It's so cute. It's so cute. So that S with that, really adorable. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this on so you can see what this looks like. I know I'm a little out of frame, so bear with me. And this one I would use glue definitely because you might need the wiggle room as you try to put these together because we're talking about a little bit of small pieces going on here. But I really like this little banner. So that's what it would look like with the green. So really cute. I like the green. The other thing, if you want to do this quickly, like I said, is you can just put a piece of washi tape down and then put these around, which would be really cute too. So either one. I'm going to go ahead and cut these through because I think you guys are okay if I do that. So I'm just going to keep, again, partial die cutting. So when I'm doing partial die cutting, what I'm doing is I want the plates just to be over where I'm going to cut. So you can see that I have a whole bunch of the rest of the die that's on my plate, but I'm not going to put the top of that on there. And so what I'm doing is I am just going to put this onto my cutting plate and I'm taping it down because I want to make sure it's exactly where I want it to go. And then when I put my top plate on, I'm just putting it over the section I want. So the rest of it doesn't really need to kind of flow through. And you can put this in either way. What happens a lot of times is the machine needs to grab onto something, which is why I'm going to feed it in. Even though I'm over on this die, it needs to grab onto something, and having that die hanging overhead, it doesn't really like that. Okay. All right, so that's number 2. And this will start to go really quickly as you start to move through it. So there's 3. And I will probably just do this one and then we'll move on to the next one over here. But if you have this, so Saskia, you have this, go ahead and dig that out. And I encourage you to take this week to look around. I know at least in the Northern Hemisphere, where I am and other places that are temperate, we're getting spring. So the environment's changing a little bit and we're leaving winter. So, you know, look around, just take that opportunity to be in the moment and take that opportunity just to be aware that things are changing, you're changing, and look at your reaction to what's going on in your environment. And sometimes we forget that because you get so, you know, overwhelmed and you just can't really focused on what's happening. And maybe sometimes you're not focused on the positive things. So take a moment to focus on that other stuff. What's happening, what's changing, being in the moment. And that's really what I think for this week is the great thing. That's what I'm going to be working on, is just kind of being in the moment and focusing on that. Especially when you have a lot of stress or things that are happening that are not in your control. We kind of forget that you really can't, you know, if it's not in your control, it's not in your control. And it is what it is. And I was talking to my son this week because he was feeling kind of down about a couple of things. And I said, it's not about, you can feel sad. That's normal. You can feel harried. You can feel all these emotions are normal. It's okay to feel them, but it's about our reaction to whatever that situation is. That's really the only thing you can control is your reaction. So think about, in terms of when you're journaling and what your intention is, how do you want to be? We keep thinking about stress and how harried we are with everything. And well, I know we can't control the stressors. We can't control. Stress is always going to be there, but you can control how you respond to that stress. And that's really the way it is. Oh my gosh, Anne, right? Shoot out. I know. You feel like you're going to go across the room. That's what Anne means right there, shooting out. And temperature is going to be rising to 20 degrees at the end of this week. And that's 20 degrees Celsius, Saskia, which is hotter than where we are. I can't even imagine. Oh, you guys are going to be in for a brutal summer again, aren't you, Saskia? You guys had a rough one last summer, I think. All right, here we go. All right, so I've die cut my little spring. I'm going to move my stuff out of the way. And I didn't even need paper. I could have grabbed the same washi tape, just put that on top of paper, and I could have die cut out of that, and that would have made it match, but I didn't want it to be too matchy-matchy, so that's why I'm doing it this way. All right, so I'm going to grab these letters that are my little banner letters, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue them, just add some glue to them all, and then I'm going to put them on top of the little green guys. And again, little small things. This is where having that tip, that precision tip really comes into play. Or, as what happens with every single die cut, I should have put this on double-sided adhesive sheets. I always forget it at the last moment. It's after I'm die cutting. It's because I don't always plan everything out. As much as I look like I do, I really don't. So sometimes I just have no clue what I'm doing from day to day or moment to moment. And that is the point of this week, is just to look around and to be present. And so that's what I am putting on here. It's all about being present. So this week for me, that is my goal for this week, is just to be present. Because that's all we really can do, is just show up and be. All right. And hopefully we just had, Saskia, it was very, very hot here the last couple of days, like brutal, like Louisiana summer hot. And fortunately now it's getting back down into spring weather. But it's just, this is a sign of things to come. Not happy about that. All right. Okay, so I'm just putting these together. And again, I know this takes a little bit of time, but I just like these little touches. Because again, it's about, for me, I like to do some new things and kind of, change it up and see what I got going on. All right, so I'm going to use this little section, like I said, for what's flowering in my garden this week, because I want to keep track of everything that's going on. So I'm just adding these little spring things in. All right, I got some ichors that I want to get off of here. That must have been paper or something I did. Now, I'm going to glue these in. But I warn you with glue, because this paper isn't super, super thick, because we're in a journal, I use just a little bit of glue. So it's not something that, you want to use a ton on, and a little glue goes a long way with this. Now, I want to do these in, here's my S. I want to do these in, not in a straight line. I want them to kind of curve. So you can see I'm over here on my mat, just kind of figuring out what that is going to look like, because I have an even number of letters, so it's going to be a little funky. So unless I have these two down, it's probably too much. All right, I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make them go up just a little bit. Here we go. All right, they were too far. So it's going to look something like that on here. All right, so I'm actually going to start with the eye, and then I'm going to build outwards. Because this is going to kind of be in the middle of my page. And again, I have glue, so if I work a little bit quickly, I can move them into place without it being too much of a big deal. All right, so then I got spring. And I'm going to place them close together, but I'm not going to place them right next to each other in terms of the tops of them. The sides will be, but not the tops. And again, I'm just adding a little bit of glue. It's not too much. Actually, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to go and stagger them. Change of plans. Change of plans. I couldn't make the thing I wanted to do work, so I'm just kind of staggering them. All right, and my S is not going to fit, so this again, yay glue. Just going to go ahead and move them. This I is going to be tricky, but that's okay. It's my book. And P. Okay, there we go. And I'll put that back on. All right, this looks really cute. Execution, but it looks really cute. All right, I like it. It's cute. Oh my gosh, daily thunderstorms and tornado watches. What, Tracy? Florida is getting crazy. All places around here are getting crazy. What am I going to say? All right, so that's what I want to record here is I want to record the things that are coming up. So because it's going to end up being a list, as I write the items, I'll just go ahead and put them in. So it's not anything that's kind of crazy, but I will, I'm just going to add in what has sprung in the garden. And that is what this section is. What has sprung in the garden. Now over on here, I think what actually has been, I'm going to keep on doing it because I have to say, and I can't say it enough, it has actually been a major help in having conversations with my doctors is to have that daily like mood tracker or symptoms tracker. So I'm going to go ahead and continue that over on this side. And that has been really, really fabulous, is to have that mood tracker. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it over here. Now I can add them over here, but I like to have a place that is separate. And so this way, what I'm doing is I'm kind of connecting with the things that are moving over there. So I have to track my headaches. I have to track daily headaches. I got to track fatigue. All these kinds of things are things that I need to track so I can have a conversation with my doctors about what the heck is going on. Because I'm a walking study. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to put this up. This is just kind of my title section that's a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to put this in. So I'm just going to put mood tracker. You do red pepper plants. That's amazing, Tracy. We can't, I haven't done anything. That's another one that I'm going to have to do as I move along because in May I'm going to start out my garden. So I'll have a section in here for my garden. But I haven't done that yet. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right, so I have those days in there. And I'm just going to just want to add a little something here. And you know what would be cute? I was just looking at this. When your dies become a stencil. That's what this is, kids. When your dies become a stencil. I was just looking at it and I'm like, oh, that would be kind of a cute little border. Here we go, border. Autoimmune issues? No, yes, they have. I don't have any. We have. All right. But that's why I'm keeping the trackers. So that way I can make sure that when I have those conversations, we know what the heck is going on. All right, so this is fabulous. I will say things that I know that have sprung in the garden already are daffodils. And this would be cute. I could put a daffodil, like if I have like a little tiny daffodil stamp I can put in there. I could put in, a little picture if I wanted to. So anything at all I can put out there if I want to add that in. And I always take a kind of a walk in the garden. The peonies have begun to shoot up, but of course they don't actually bloom for me until June. And I think there might be some grape hyacinth that came up, but that is it. So I'm working on early spring bulbs because that's my garden's always a little bit shadier than other places. So I wanted to, I just wanted to show you this. Like again, I said, I'm just kind of changing things up. So just to show you some of my past ones where I've had, just a different look for, each of the days. I'm kind of moving towards, again, making it work for me, making it, as I kind of move along, what has been helping and what hasn't been helping. And then I keep shifting things up that are going on. So one of the things that I want to keep track of is I want to keep track of what's happening in my garden. So that's going to be up here. I do want to keep track of exercise. And then this is the thing that's going to help me. So what I'm going to start right now is actually writing in what are the personal goals that I want to accomplish. What are things that I want to do? And so if Monday I want to make sure I exercise for 15 minutes, I'm going to write this in here. And these are the things that this is kind of like, if you will, my working to-do list. And then I also add in things like, what do I eat? Where do I go? Oh, we went to the museum this day. So I'm going to put all of those things, because if I have a day when I'm eating something specific or I'm traveling somewhere, and then I can track it with my mood to say, oh, I got a headache that day, or I didn't, felt fine. And then that's how I can put those things together. And Tracy, I need milkweed and I'm having a hard time. I was going to ask you about where to get the seeds from because I'd like to make a pollinator garden. That's one of the things I wanted to add in. That I don't have a pollinator garden yet. So that's something that I would like to do. So I'm really liking this layout. We'll see how it works for this week. And I, of course, would always love to see things that you have made. So feel free to tag me on social media. My information is in the description. And so what did we do today? So today I used die cuts, and I just love the feeling of die cuts on paper. I don't know if you guys have that same thing, but I think they just feel so cool. So I've used my trusty stencil, which is the Color Swatches stencil from Altenew. This thing has been just a workhorse for bullet journaling. Absolutely amazing. And I added in today these are just cute, the Slim Sentiments die set, and use that as a border with a piece of washi. And then I also added in that spring from the spring mantle die set. And I think I'm going to cut out a couple of these other things and just kind of put them in as little doodads. Just put a couple of little flowers in here just to, so yeah, right, Anne? Like I just kind of like having that in there. So this is going to make me excited to open this page and just to see what's going on. So we're going to meet next week, same time, same bat channel, and we will be working on our very last week in April. So then April's done, kids. And then we will be heading into, so we'll be starting our kind of focus for the month of May. So I want to make sure that you are here next week so we can kind of, get to where we want to go, because we're almost halfway through the year. I know we're at week 13 of doing this. So we're moving along here. The year is moving along and we have a couple of things to go. So I just wanted to, so I'm going to come up and just say thank you again for visiting with me and for taking some time out to take some time for yourself. Get yourself set up for the week, figure out what those intentions are, and set a little time for yourself, even if it's just a little bit day by day. All right. So I hope to see you here next week. And I hope you have a fabulous time. So thank you so much for sharing your time with me, like I said before, and for journaling with intention with me. All right. You have a great day.